Recording
Heyo.
in progress.
What is this?
It's a Juicero.
How does it work?
No idea.
There's nothing funny about Juicero. There's nothing funny about Juicero, John.
Why did you say it 3 times? Are you
I
trying
don't
to
know.
do different takes? I know when you do takes.
You literally were there when
I'm going to tell every single person in the comments. I'll be like, oh, this was the 3rd time he said this at 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Hey guys, welcome to my show, Honest Unboxing. We
No.
have regular guest John Moriello on.
No. Hi guys, this is Honest Unboxing, where I'm the boss, Mark's the sidekick. Of course, he can easily edit all this and twist my words, but
Because
fine.
It's my show, I can edit it.
He's like my lackey editor. He's like, you know what? Do you guys know what a lackey is? Mark's my lackey editor.
If you know what a lackey is, write it in the comments. Did you text? You just texted me.
No,
Why are you texting me?
I'm not texting you.
What are you trying? You trying to be subtle?
No.
I know you're really the
No.
I know this is really your channel.
No.
I just want to
definitely
text
didn't
you to
say
make
that.
sure you know that. John's like my little sidekick, kind of like Robin. You know, he's like, God Zooks, Batman.
Isn't it Gadzooks?
He's like, holy moly, Batman.
If I'm Robin, you're like, if I'm Robin, you're freaking who's like a crappy villain? You're like the Iceman. He was kind of cool. You can be the Iceman.
Get down.
That was terrible.
Get
Get down. Get down.
Get
I don't
down.
I actually don't know what he
Get
sounds like,
down.
because people do an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger that's
Yeah.
not actually what he sounds like.
Get down, 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 get down.
Oh, hey, John.
How are you today, Mark?
What?
Are you ready to unbox? Oh wait, hang on. I don't want to dox myself. We got a toy here. This is a special called Dead Startup Toys, and it's toys of startups that failed miserably. As someone who's involved heavily in the startup world, I really want to make it clear that I'm not necessarily knocking anybody who starts a failed startup. As someone who has started several failed startups or been a part of failed startups. But this, for me, the reason why I bought this is because it's more of a reminder of basically to be careful. That's basically it.
So to clarify, it's not the startup's toy. It's a representation of a product that the startup made, right?
Yeah, it's essentially like a little tiny figurine of a startup toy. So I'll show you which one that I got. This is by Mischief, MSCHF. They do a bunch of cool stuff. So let's open this up with our pointy boy. Wow, look. I don't know if you can see that, Mark. Do you see who
Oh, yeah.
the little cupids are? It's the Theranos CEO.
Oh.
Elizabeth Holmes. The Cupid lady, Elizabeth Holmes. It's Elizabeth Holmes Space. The Blood Lady. The Blood Lady.
That's funny.
The one who faked her voice for like 3 years while she was making this.
She faked a lot more than that.
She sure did.
Former CEO and founder of Theranos, facing conspiracy and wire fraud charges.
Elizabeth Holmes has pled not guilty.
So this one is for Juicero. Dead Startup Toys. Actually, it's really nice packaging. It feels super solid. And then it kind of does this whole thing. It just sort of falls out. Nice padded interior. Really nice. Very well done. It smells nice. It smells like... It smells kind of bad, honestly. So
That's
what we
my
have
job.
here is the Juicero.
Oh, it's so little.
It's so little and cute and so harmless.
So what it does it open?
I've been trying to figure that out. I don't think that it does.
It's got a side hinge. I actually see it.
Yeah, but so there's a button down here,
Hmm.
and I'm pressing it, and it doesn't seem to be opening. And I don't want to force it because I don't want to break it. Do you know how much they raised, Mark?
200 million?
I think it might have been more than that. I'm not sure though.
Juicero was a product for fresh pressed juice. and their approach was basically the standard Internet of Things, unnecessarily expensive, unnecessary tool to accomplish that. What it is it's a giant block of metal that costs, I think, like $400. You connect it to the internet and download an app, and then you get a subscription to these bags that supposedly have veggies and fruits inside, and then the machine squashes it. You have to scan your QR code on the bag to make sure that you have the right Juicero brand bag, and then the machine crushes it with a big metal plate. So then Business Insider got their hands on some of the juice bags, and one of the journalists actually just hand squeezed it out into a glass. So at that point, I believe the entire company imploded.
Yeah, that was pretty much it for them. I'm sure there must have been somebody along the way who said, like, hey, maybe we should like rethink this whole juicing concept. But it's sort of like gained momentum, and it was just like too late to basically stop it. And now these don't exist except in little tiny toy form. It's also worth mentioning $400 juicer, which actually for what it was very cheap. If you were to actually take it apart, it's like impeccably engineered. In addition to the $400 juicer, the way that they really made money was apparently it was $5 to $7 for each juice packet. And I believe it was just one serving. Let's see who invested in this thing. These poor people. Well, they're by definition not poor. I shouldn't feel bad for them.
These poor giant corporations.
Yeah, these poor giant corporations and billionaires. Poor things.
I think Google Ventures, a few others.
But they showered him with more than $120 million in capital. Juicero had high-profile fans, too. Kobe Bryant invested.
As athletes, we're always looking for products.
Here's Doug.
In a now-deleted Instagram post,
Juicero.
Oprah promoted it.
So here's the deal, everybody. I have one, and now you all will have one.
Even Ivanka Trump was a believer.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to it. I'm pretty sure this is actually hand-painted. It looks hand-painted to me. There is some play to this button down here.
Is that the button or is that the spout?
Oh, it might be the spout. Which also I'm fairly certain is hand-painted. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of this is hand-painted. These might actually be 3D printed. In fact, I think they are 3D printed.
It makes sense. I don't know how many people are buying a tiny Juicero.
Yeah, I don't think they injection molded this, Mark. I think that they actually 3D printed this and then painted it.
It's a good move.
Because you can see imperfections on it. Like this edge here you probably can't see it in the image. It didn't catch the paint as well, and it's not quite painted right. So I'm pretty sure they just like 3D printed a bunch of these, sold them for however much it was. I can't remember. It was like $50.
It seems like it has a nice little, it has some character to it as a result. And it's smart of them not to be tooling up for a toy that 100 people are going to buy.
I wonder what their intention was with making this. Were they trying to make fun of these startups, or is this like a little mini gravestone, like a memorial?
And this is totally a parody. This is to kind of make fun of some of the dumbest products on the planet. You're being pretty charitable, but I mean, this was an insane endeavor. Like this was borderline a scam, and it's pretty evident given the company that the founders started afterward, which is Raw Water. And they're literally selling dirty water that gets people sick.
His new obsession is raw water. It's basically untreated spring water, and some doctors warn it could be a serious health risk.
Like, I was wondering what kind of water I was going to drink at Burning Man, and Vacha's like, no, I got 50 gallons of Mount Shasta spring water.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
He's like a literal con artist.
Is he in legal trouble?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I haven't seen info lately.
I would imagine that he is. That sounds pretty serious.
Well, William, I'm done. Next.
You're not going to tell the media?
No. We're done with Juicero.
No Juicero.
No more Juicero. I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to walk away. Okay.
It seems
Well, let's
like
actually talk about Juicero. What about it was such a bad idea? Let's just entertain it. I know it was a bad idea, but let's talk about why.
I mean, Juicero is terrible for so many reasons. It hit on all of the things that people almost purposely do. Like John just ran a competition for bad design, and so many things matched up with what they did, intentionally or not intentionally. Like, why does your juicer need to be connected to the internet? Why do you need proprietary juice bags? And why does the machine not even work without those proprietary juice bags?
And then why do you need the machine if you can squeeze it with your hands? I feel like that was the last straw.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not even like the veggies and fruits were intact before the thing crushed it.
So they wanted basically a completely closed loop, like monopoly on the juicing market, with no regard for like what the customer would actually want or what would benefit the customer, which is pretty much par for the course for, if we're being honest, many tech companies.
Yeah, the problem is they didn't already have the established market and people who are already sucked into their walled garden for other things. Like when Apple does this and screws you over, you're kind of like, well, I have to put up with it because it's part of the whole ecosystem.
Right. Yeah,
but-
maybe this was sort of the first one. Maybe this was the first product, and they were planning to do an entire line of products that completely screw you over.
Yeah,
like Apple.
right. But you have to start out not screwing people over. Then you screw them over once they're there.
Yeah, I think that was the key thing. They needed to put the user first for just long enough that they got everybody really interested in it, and then they do all, like, you know, what Apple does and all these other companies.
So the big takeaway, I guess, is if you're gonna screw people over with your startup company, first, don't screw them over. And then when you're ready and there's enough people, then you screw them.
Yeah.
Like Uber subsidized and Lyft subsidized their ride share for years. And now they've jacked up the price.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ridden one, at least in San Francisco, that are outrageous. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. We'll see you again soon.
Bye. Bye.
Enjoy your juice.
Hey, guys. Mark's the sidekick.
By sidekick, you mean ringleader. Yes.